You're listening to Country Music Junkies, hosted by Patrice Whiffen. This week on Country Music Junkies, I am pleased to be chatting with Leslie of the Canadian band based out in Saskatchewan, Tucker Lane. Leslie, how's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for having me, Patrice.
We're so excited to be chatting with you guys. You just released a sophomore album, Random Fireworks on a Beach Obscured by Trees. I love it. A 13-track album on January 15th, so it's fresh and out there for fans to listen to. We're going to talk about the record, but first, I kind of want to introduce our listeners to Tucker Lane as a band, how you guys got started, and what kind of style and sound within the country genre you guys have.
Johnny and I are originally, we moved to Saskatoon 10 years ago. I was born and raised in Toronto. Johnny was born and raised in Saskatchewan.
Okay.
He was born in Melfort, and then his family moved to Saskatoon when he was really young.
Okay.
But anyway, we played in bands before together. We were in a band called The Pursuit of Happiness back in Toronto, and then we had a band called Universal Honey. And then we had our son, and we decided to make the move to a just a quieter, easier lifestyle.
For sure.
Rather than Toronto. Toronto grew really fast, and it was massive and crazy.
Yeah.
Love Toronto, but we wanted to move to Saskatoon, to Johnny's hometown, and his mom was here, and she was on her own. So we moved here 10 years ago, and we love it here. It's awesome. And we just started playing around as an acoustic duo because we just love playing music. That's what we do.
Right.
And then we hooked up with Johnny's childhood friend, Brent Carland. Yeah, we started playing together, and then Warren Metternach joined shortly after we put out our first album, and we were just really influenced by obviously there's a really great country scene in Saskatchewan, and people had told us that Brent Carlin, his guitar playing added a real flavor to Tucker Lane, because it's kind of got a twang to it, southern kind of feel, a little bit bluesy too, and that really added a lot to our sound. And we were influenced by a lot of bands that we started listening to. We lots of people would ask us too to play country when we were playing around town here, and we didn't have a lot of country in our repertoire. But then we started listening more to country, and we were just like, wow, this is great. Back in the day, there was no difference between music styles. Like, you listen to one station, and you heard Rhinestone Cowboy on the same station as Superstition by Stevie Wonder.
Right.
So, you just, as well as I'm a big Stones fan, and the Stones always loved country music as well, Flying Burrito Brothers and Linda Ronstadt, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings. So I love that old school kind of country. But I love Steve Earle and Lucinda Williams as well. So all of that, as well as that Paisley, California comes into our music,
right.
Like the Byrds, Buffalo Springfield. So, we're influenced by a really wide range of music.
It sounds like you guys have a ton of different influences and kind of different genres sort of fueling into the sound of your music, making it quite an eclectic sound, which is really cool. And I'm glad that you kind of gave our listeners a little bit of a backstory to how you got together. Again, I love that. That's so cool and very organic, and we're pumped that you're releasing more music. So in terms of your sophomore release, Random Fireworks on a Beach Obscured by Trees, where did this whole project kind of begin, and I know it's always hard to pick, but maybe you can talk about one or two songs that really kind of stand out for you from that record.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, it was really a pandemic project because we couldn't play shows anymore.
Right.
We've been wanting to there's a few songs on the album that we had been playing for a couple of years, and that, really resonated with the audience. So we got those on the album, of course. But, when lockdown happened, we didn't see each other for about 3 months. And then when they lifted the restrictions and we were able to get together,
right.
Then we were just invigorated and just so happy to be together. We just wrote a bunch of songs and we recorded them. and that's the album. It just happened over the summer,
Right.
last year. So it was kind of like we could, when you're busy with playing shows, we would play every month, definitely at least a few times a month. You're always working towards your next show. So we just always had more shows coming up, and we could never get the recording done. So it just happened. It finally happened, last year during the summer. There's an energy to it. There's a magic to the album just because we hadn't been together, and then finally we got together and we made music together and we were able to record it. So, there's just a lot of songs. I love, the name of the album is appropriate, just also in that we just feel like you said, it's eclectic, but each song has kind of like its own little explosion, a fireworks explosion of joy and beauty, and there's songs that definitely stick out to me. I mean, Ghost is one of them. That's our feature track off of the album, and that's really reflective of the times. I mean, Ghost is really just about that isolated feeling, like we don't see other people don't see us, except we just have memories of the people that we know and in our hearts. And it's almost like being a ghost, so that's what that song really is about. And there's just there's just all kinds of songs on the album that, I mean, it's hard to pick favorites or talk about just a few of them. But we put out Paper Wings. That was our first single before the album came out. That was in the fall. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's just about just loving, and no matter how it's going to turn out. You don't know how things are going to turn out. You don't know if you're going to get burned, and you don't know if it's going to be awesome, but you got to still love. You
of
just
course.
got to still open your heart to love, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
Well, I love the record and obviously want our listeners to check it out. Where's the best place for them to go if they want to listen, but also connect with you guys?
Well, we have our social media pages, of course, so Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. It's Tucker Lane. I think on Instagram with Tucker Lane Band. And then, of course, our website, which is tuckerlane.ca. You can get everything there, and it'll connect you to all of our social media pages, and it'll connect you also to where you can get the album, depending on your favorite streaming platform or digital platform. So, yeah.
Excellent. Well, again, appreciate all of your time today, and really looking forward to staying in touch with you and hopefully seeing a live Tucker Lane show soon. We'll leave it at soon.
Live music will come back better than it even was before. I just know it, because everyone's just no one's going to take it for granted anymore and think like, well, I don't have to go out to that show. Everyone's I'm going out to that show. So,
absolutely. Yeah. Love that. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, and really appreciate chatting with you, Leslie, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah. Thanks, Patrice. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate everything that you do.